Welcome to Football and AI. This is our 13th episode, so we're gradually making progress with every passing day. And of course, in the spirit of the season, I say compliments of the season to everyone that's watching us, wherever it is that you're watching us from. It is my pleasure, as always, to welcome the man behind the AI, Dr. Oluseyi Akide Edinseyi. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good to be back, buzzing as usual.
You're buzzing.
Yes.
Last week was very interesting, and it's good to see the AI be on a three-game unbeaten streak. That feels good, doesn't it?
Feels very, very good considering how the AI started at the beginning of the season. It's picking up a bit of steam, and let us hope that it's no flash in the pan. Let's see how this week goes. With the weekend's matches.
Yes, so our focus, as always, is on the Premier League with the weekend's matches. And today we have our guest. He is none other than the Watchdog. Now I call the Watchdog. Kelechi Nkoro joins us on Football and AI to predict the matches in the English Premier League. Kelechi, welcome to Football and AI.
It's great to be here. It's nice to finally join you and Doc. I've had the opportunity to watch you guys about 3 or 4 times this season. I hope I defeat the both of you and humble you guys so that next weekend, when you
it's a good feeling to have.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Because I hold the record on this show. I hold the record on this show.
I just want to humble the two of you. I just want to humble the two of you. It will be fun.
Four correct scores. Four correct scores.
Four correct scores.
People took it to that our location. All right, so quickly let's go into Isheyi. Last week was a lot of fun. We had Richard Awe join us. Richard, thanks. I'm sure he's probably watching us as well. Thank you for joining us last week. And it was very interesting because I think Richard went the first 3 games without a point. And I was like, no, did I say the first? No, the first 5 games.
The first 5 games, yes.
The first 5 games, Richard didn't score a point. And I was like, okay, this looks quite interesting. And next thing, what does Richard do? Richard delivers a correct score in Southampton versus Sheffield United. I'm like, okay, now we're getting serious. I wonder how you were feeling where you were, Shay.
Well, I always start it. I mean, I think the first 2-3 games usually it usually gives us an idea of who will become. Because once you get a good score, especially if you get a right score one, you're almost always, to end up winning that weekend. So once there's a good score, and I think the AI got a few. I think one good score last week. And I just felt
2 correct scores actually.
Okay, 2 correct scores. So that's once you get a correct score, that's 3 points. I mean, so it will take the other person 3 games to even just meet up to you. I mean, that's usually how it ends up. Let's hope for this week. It looks like you have a very confident guest today, and I told him even his video, the quality of his, it looks like a man who is going to win, and the AI is a bit scared.
Kelechi is a very confident person. So let's look at some of the features from last week. The Friday game, Wolves Aston Villa had a last-minute penalty to give me a correct score of Aston Villa winning that game. And I think the first game on Saturday, the early kickoff, Newcastle West Brom gave the AI a correct score. The AI also got a correct score via a late equalizer for Crystal Palace as they went as they got a draw at home to Spurs. Unfortunately, I didn't get any other correct score, but I got a few correct outcomes. So for Richard, it was a correct score in Southampton Sheffield United. Got 3 points there. He also predicted a draw for Palace Spurs, but he went for 3-3. So he got only a point. And then he also went for a victory for Leicester. Of course, we all missed it out on Arsenal hosting Burnley. Everybody, with the exception of myself, went for an Arsenal victory. I went for a draw. Burnley got a win. We all also went for a victory for Liverpool against Fulham, but that ended in a draw. So, of course, and also Manchester Derby, everybody went for a victory for Manchester City, but the game ended in probably the worst Manchester Derbies we have seen in a while. It ended 0-0. So, Shay, what can we expect to change this week? Also, noting that we're having games are coming thick and fast now. Midweek games, there's a game on Boxing Day, New Year's Day. So every 3 days there's a game.
Well, hopefully, we hope for the AI to continue the winning streak. I think we may have to do, maybe 2 or 3 more episodes in between. As the games are coming thick and fast, probably we'll just do on the morning of the games. So we'll do a lot more. We'll have even done this week, but it didn't just. It didn't just occur to me that could do midweek. So as the games are coming, I think we should just have more people come. And I would also, just to trust it, I'd like to see more ladies as well. We had a few ladies at the beginning.
Oh yeah, we had a few ladies. We would do more ladies. It's for them to agree. Women and their time, you have to try and meet them halfway. So,
and it would be nice if you can get someone else who is in AI, maybe an AI versus AI kind of thing.
Okay, I'll talk to somebody in tech. One of our somebody in tech to join us as well. All right, so let's get into it. Kelechi, I always ask everybody that comes on this show what they take into consideration in making predictions. A lot have said form. Form seems to be the most consistent in terms of responses that I've got. What do you take into consideration when you're making predictions?
I won't play down form, but sometimes I look at the characteristics of the character of the team. For instance, now, which would make me throw in one of my predictions for this week, which is Arsenal to beat Everton. Not because I just feel that you can't trust Everton. You can never trust the Everton side. Yes, Carlo Ancelotti, let me give you a good example, is building a squad, but the only thing Ancelotti has been able to do is build his midfield 3. You can't trust his attack. You don't know who is going to get the goals. You can't. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin is getting the goals. It's good
that defense that I can't trust. It's the defense.
No, I can't even trust the Everton attack to always deliver, because you have a Richarlison who could get angry and punch an opponent and get sent off when he's not feeling happy, when he's being frustrated. You have a Calvert-Lewin who will not build for himself. He's expecting someone to give him to deliver, which is not a bad thing. But there are games where you need him to adapt to what is going on the field. He would not. He stays to what he thinks he should go on. Get me the balls to score. So, and then I think that Arsenal have suffered enough. I think they've suffered enough. I think they have one. This is the game that they.
I think I should just tweet what you have just said now. Kelechi says Arsenal has suffered enough.
No. I think this is the game where Arsenal will get a win and take pressure off Arteta for a few games, not throughout. I think this is where they will get the win. So those are the kind of things I look at. I look at the characteristics of the side they are playing against, when they are playing, the importance of that. Sometimes I don't really look at form. Form has not helped me. Form has destroyed me at the other side a lot. When we look at form, look at what Bayern and Dortmund have been doing to us in the past few weeks. If you look at form, so sometimes I look at those things, and I look at the history of these two sides too when they meet. So you get sometimes teams where once they see certain teams, their head is scattered. Like Parma, if they catch Milan for San Siro, I don't want to know how bad they've been playing all season. They would always come to disturb Milan at the San Siro. So those kind of things are some of the things I look at.
You know, it's interesting you talk about characteristics of a team and how far they've come in terms of the turbulence that they are facing. So, looking at one of the games this week, I'm actually agreeing with you, but not for that game. I think that from what I've seen of Sheffield United in the last 2, 3 games, I think they're about to turn the corner. They go away to Brighton, so I do think that they will get a result away to Brighton. So this is me somewhat agreeing with your take that those teams might just turn a corner at this time. So yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. Let me ask Sheyi, what special considerations are you having for this weekend?
Well, not really. It's not. I mean, AI is data, data, data. I mean, you feed it in the data, it makes the prediction. So all we did was just to load in the recent matches, the last 2 games. That's the last weekend and the midweek games into the, and we trained it again on the new data. You know, let's see. I mean, you see, the truth is, we look at Man U. For instance, Man U is a bit of is an exaggerated. I mean, in business, they say something is an exaggerated market. Look at their away form. So, an AI looks at an away form with wins. What do you think is going to predict for Man U? Whoever they're playing, win.
Yeah.
And then you look at the home form, and you are seeing loss. AI is going to look at that, and it's going to say, so this week, Man U, I think, are playing away, right?
They're playing at home.
They're playing at home.
So,
okay, so I don't know. I mean, the AI is going to come up with the score. But so that's the thing with the data. Data just looks at trends and pattern recognition to see what, and it just makes the prediction. It is devoid of emotions like you guys. It doesn't matter. Look at Sheffield United. I don't think the AI has predicted any win for Sheffield United because if you look at the play from the beginning of the season, only one point in about 13 games. I don't think the AI is going to suddenly predict a win for them. So it's data, it is data. So that's just it.
What you say is data. There's a game I'm looking at, Southampton, Manchester City. Southampton have been in really good form this season. And hey, we know City. City are a quality side. But City going away to Southampton, I think last season that game ended in a draw with Alex McCarthy had an exceptional performance in both. And now look at what Southampton are doing this season. So even if you feed in the entire history in terms of head-to-heads in the last maybe 5-10 years, you are sure that City will be ahead by virtue of the data. But the form, so how do we marry the form and history together for the AI to make predictions?
The model infers all that. So you don't have to program it. So it sees the correlation. That's where you have points, you have correlations. So it's going to see that there's a relation between this data point and that data point. For instance, if I give you an example of if since the beginning of the season, maybe City have been, that's why the fact that they've scored 10 goals, if they've been averaging, say, 4 shots per target. Or 4 shots on target every game, maybe per game, they're averaging 4 shots on target. And Southampton are averaging 3 shots on target. It's going to correlate that as well. I'm going to say, well, if they're averaging this, what is it? And then the percentage, they've scored out of the 4 shots on target across all the games. You see, AI is nothing special. It's just pure mathematical formula that is using to derive, the outcomes. So that's why AI is not going. It's just going to infer it and do the correlation and then spew out, what it thinks that the results will be. Now, the model, if you go and normally, most times what I do is I do a back test of that model. So if the AI predicts that, say for instance, a match is going to end in a draw with so number of shots on target and expected goals, and then I plug in those figures after the game. If it gives me an outcome that closely matches with what the result says, then I'll know that the model was trained very well. So there are certain assumptions that obviously sometimes have to go into it, But at the end of the day, it's just still pure math.
Let me come to Kelechi. So, Kelechi, you're looking at the fixtures for this weekend. Which one sticks out as a potential surprise? That there is a surprise waiting for all of us in that fixture.
Like Dr. Ayo has said, it's would you say it's a surprise if Southampton beats Man City with what you have seen? It's not going to be a surprise to us. If you do data analysis, look at Man City. They are struggling to get goals. They're struggling to win games. It's going to be hard for me to come out here and tell you that if Southampton beats Man City, it's going to be a surprise. There's no surprise in that game for me. I think so. I think also if Everton beats Arsenal, no one is going to be surprised. If Arsenal beats Everton, no one is going to also be surprised because it's Arsenal. They are Arsenal. So that's where I have a bit of a problem in.
What have you lost Kelechi there?
And then I still say I have a bit of a problem looking for the surprise. I still say it. I say this that due to the unusualness of this season, the fact that a lot of players are struggling with a lot of emotional back end. Let me use that word, emotional back end. I'm sorry to add this. I know it's a Premier League analysis, but last few days I was in a press conference or a sort of a La Liga gathering with some ex-players, and someone asked one of them how they were handling this period and playing football, then holidays, having to also play during the holidays period and all. And he said it's really an emotional workload for most of them. That some of them have to remind themselves every minute on the field that, hey, focus on what you're doing.
Don't lose focus.
Imagine that, and then for me to, even when I'm going to be making my predictions today, I've never been in a hot seat like I'm going to be right now, because I have to also ask myself the truth that what would really be the outcome from this game. So any results right now you see in the Premier League should not be a surprise to you. Yes, if Liverpool loses, that might be a surprise to me. Liverpool, I will take Liverpool's game. That would be a surprise if Liverpool loses.
That would be a surprise if Liverpool loses. Okay, now, final question to Shay before going to the predictions. West Brom are the first team to pull the trigger. Fired Slaven Bilic, and they've gone to get relegation consultant Sam Allardyce. Does the AI take into consideration new manager bounce?
Absolutely nothing like that. For AI to take something into consideration, you must have trained it with data. So you must have trained it with, and there was no consideration of managers or changing managers in between. It's just we just trained the model, the predictive model, on purely the numbers, the scores, the inputs, the number of shots on target, the number of what you might call it, the goals scored, home form, and all those kind of things. Nothing like that for manager. And just to toe the line of what Kelechi said, I think he's quite right in that this season there you can't really say anything. Like, for instance, a surprise for me last game week would have been West Brom going to Man City to hold them to a draw. I mean, after losing to Newcastle United. Everybody expected Man City to breeze through, but they held on and they took a point out of that. So really, I don't think there's any. This season would not be the only surprise I would have this season is I know Liverpool will eventually lose at home, but the team that would beat them at home is probably going to be I can say would be the surprise of the season, because going almost 4 years not losing at Anfield, I think the surprise of the season will be a team that goes to Anfield, to beat them at Anfield.
Well, it might just be Manchester United,
Well,
What do you drink this afternoon?
No, but you have to say history shows that United has a knack for ending unbeaten runs. So hey,
I actually agree with the doc because even last season, if you look at last season, we were expecting that it was going to be one of those big boys that were going to find a way to stop Liverpool from getting the record that they were chasing, which was to equal Man City's record or break it. And it was, I think it was Watford that did it for everyone. It was
Watford and Burnley as well.
Watford for world peace. They said they created world peace. You know
what was happening then?
I'm telling you, so it was Watford. So I agree with Doc on that. That it would be more of which team would do it for Liverpool. They have struggled. They've shown that they might not have it all rosy this season. They might lose that record this season. But the question will be which team. And I want to agree with the Doc that it might not be these big boys we're expecting. It might be one of the smaller teams that will go there on a bad day for Liverpool and get that win that has been coming.
Defend on the counter, and that would just be it.
Yeah.
All right, so I think it's time to get to the bottom of the matter itself, which is the actual predictions. So no games today. I think this is the first time in the last 3 weeks or thereabout that we don't have a Friday game.
The last one was
last one was exactly Aston Villa Newcastle. Yes, the last one was postponed, but that we don't have a game at all. This is the first time. So let's get into it right away. Let me say shout out to all those that are joining us. I see comments from Benjamin Latunji, who agrees with Kelechi on Calvin being the poacher, and I see JB Sports also dropping a comment in the comments section. So let's get straight into the prediction, guys. First game in line, interestingly, is the game that Kelechi thinks might have a surprise, and that is Crystal Palace hosting champions Liverpool. Kelechi, how do you see that going? Prediction?
Okay, so I think Crystal Palace has enough in them to break the Liverpool defense. Liverpool right now, we don't know if Matic is strong enough to start for them. So we might have Williams pair up with anyone who is fit in that back line. Let me use that term. Anyone who is fit to play their defense. So I think I would go for a 3-1 victory for Liverpool.
3-1 victory for Liverpool.
Yes.
Just dance, and still predicted the Liverpool win.
No, but I told you that if Crystal Palace beats them, that's where we would say it's surprise. Okay. But I don't expect to see. But I think it's 3-1 victory. 3-1 victory for Liverpool.
Okay, AI Crystal Palace Liverpool
1-2. Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 2.
Interestingly, I'm on the same page with the AI. I've also gone for 1-2 in favor of Liverpool. To St. Mary's, Southampton hosting Manchester City. Kelechi?
Okay, that's a tricky one. I'm caught in between a 2-2 draw or a 1-1 draw. I don't think. Well, I'll go for a 2-2 draw because I think if Aguero starts, he might get a goal in that game. I'm not sure if he's going to start, so I'll just go for a 2-2 draw.
Well, I think I agree with you. I've also gone for a 1-1 draw. I think Southampton are in a really good place, and because City seem to be Jekyll and Hyde, and we don't know the City that will come to the fore, I've gone for a draw. AI.
Well, AI says City to win 2-1. So 1-2.
City win 2-1. Okay.
At least.
At least what?
Yeah, at least somebody said that City has 2 goals. I like AI. AI agrees with me that City has 2 goals in them.
I see that. To Merseyside, Everton taking on Arsenal.
Everton to win Arsenal 4-1.
Kelechi, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
All right, Everton taking on Arsenal.
Okay, so AI says Everton to win Arsenal 2-1. I say Arsenal
No.
to.
AI hasn't made a prediction. No.
AI says 2-1. Yeah.
Oh, 2-1. Okay, I didn't hear you when you said so. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, AY says 2-1 for Everton.
All right.
I think we might have a red card in that game. And I think it would favor Arsenal to win that game by 2-0.
2-0 Arsenal. If there's a red card, depending on who it goes to, but if it goes to Arsenal, that'll probably be their third red card in the last 4 or 5 games or thereabouts. So, but I've gone for it will be 4-4. Oh yeah, that's true. 4-4. It will be 4-4.
It will be 4-4.
It will be 4-4. I've gone for an Everton win. I think Everton are in a really good place. I think they have enough to beat Arsenal. I've gone for Everton 1, Arsenal 0. Sheyi, Newcastle hosting Fulham at St. James's Park.
Newcastle 2, Fulham 1.
Newcastle 2, Fulham 1. I like where Fulham are right now. I like the way they are playing. So I have gone for Fulham to win 1-2. K1, what say you?
Newcastle to win 2-1.
Newcastle win 2-1. Kelechi has gone with the AI on that one. Okay, so Brighton, Sheffield United, the game that I said I have a very, very funny feeling that the Blades are about to turn the corner. So I have gone for 0-1 in favor of Sheffield United. Kelechi, how do you see this one?
2-0, Brighton.
2-0 to Brighton. 2-0 Brighton. And the AI?
2-1 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton. Okay. 2-1 Brighton. All right. So to one of the big games of the weekend, Tottenham Hotspur, second on the table, taking on Leicester City, who just lost at home to Everton during the midweek. I've gone for a Spurs win, 3-1. What does the AI say?
AI says this is going to be a draw, 1-1.
A draw, 1-1. Even Stevens, I'm sure Jose Mourinho will pull out his hair if that happens. Kelechi, what about you?
I think a draw too, but scoreline is where I'm okay. Let me look at a high scoreline, 2-2. 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. To another big game depending on how long you've been watching football. Some of our viewers might not have watched football as long as we have. But Manchester United versus Leeds United used to be a really big game. There's a huge rivalry between both teams, and I expect that rivalry to come to the fore. I expect goals because both teams are capable of scoring goals, and both teams are not good defensively. So I have gone for a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford as Manchester United hosts Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United. Kelechi, what say you?
4-2 Manchester United.
Wow, 4-2 for Manchester United. What does the AI say?
It says 1-1. Even Steven.
AI has gone for an even Steven 1-1. That's interesting.
AI, you come outside. Let's fight on the street. What's wrong with AI? Yeah, do you know how many over 2.5 you are disappointing this?
Yeah, but the AI has gone for plenty go now. Go all through. Go.
I know, but how can you give Manchester Leeds 1-1? AI should come and let's fight.
All right, so we'll take a trip down to the Midlands, and I was saying earlier in the show, if there's any consideration for new manager bounce, West Brom have appointed education consultant Sam Allardyce, and it takes on Midland rivals. This is a huge rivalry, by the way. West Brom host Aston Villa at the Hawthorns. How does the AI see it?
0-2 Aston Villa to win.
Wow, he's gone for a Villa win. Okay, I'm sure it's the form talking there. Kelechi, how do you see it?
History has shown us. I understand AI, but history has shown us that The worst time
New
to
manager.
play any side is when a new manager comes in, and then
Yeah.
it's a derby again. It's one that's it's a derby that's going to be between is it Gallagher versus Grealish. The two
Yeah.
of them are the two crazy heads of these two sides. So I think that yes, due to the fact that Villa also has a bit of form, but also this is a derby, I'd go for a draw, but a score draw, maybe 1-1. I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. 1-1 draw goes Kelechi. As they say, when derbies come along, the form book goes out of the window. So I've also gone for a draw. 1-1 in the Midlands derby between West Brom and Aston Villa. So the two final games of the weekend, which come up on Monday night, Burnley host Wolves. Wolves have also shown a different setting, and they're also showing us that they can play without Raul Jimenez. They can get the goals. Can they go away to Tough Moor, to a Burnley side who seem to be rejuvenated by the way? How does the AI see it, Shay?
Yeah, it's in line with how you're thinking. AI Wolves to win 2-1.
Wolves to win
1-2.
2-1. So that's 1-2. All right. I've also gone for a Wolves win, and I've also gone for 1-2, by the way. How does K1 see it?
I agree with both of you. I think that yes, the win against Arsenal would give Burnley some springs in their steps, but I think Wolves are a side that Burnley would struggle to break down. But also Wolves defensively have not been convincing to me. Um, the coach himself has gone from is it four in the back to three
Back
at the
three
back.
to the back four. Yeah.
He seems to be confused what he wants to use at his back line. So because of that, I agree that Burnley might sneak in a goal in there and go for that 1-2-2.
We're going for 1-2. All right, to the final game of the weekend. It's a London derby. Chelsea host West Ham. Good looking West Ham, by the way. West Ham have done pretty well so far this season. Chelsea have somewhat faltered. Back to back defeats for Chelsea. It's interesting how people dig up some stats. They have a stat that all the teams Chelsea have defeated this season, none have been in the top half of the table. And if I'm not mistaken, West Ham are in the top half of the table. How do we
Yeah.
see Chelsea West Ham going? AI
Well, Chelsea to win 2-0 at
2
Stamford Bridge.
0 Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Kelechi, how do you see it?
I was even going to go a step further to make it 3-0 in favor of Chelsea. I think West Ham, yes, they are good, but they're a very sorry side. They are the nearly side. They are the side who you'd always oh, they tried, they did well. Tottenham were the only ones that fell for it. Manchester United didn't even fall for that too. Um, I don't think. I think this is where Chelsea would give you the turn. Lampard needs to break. He's under pressure from the media now.
Yeah.
Spending 280 million and showing us what he did in the last two games. It's a lot of questions have said. I think this is the victory that would give him that Christmas break and maybe wait till the 23rd when they play their next game. But I think a victory for Chelsea 3-0. West Ham would not have a chance in this.
Okay, so I guess we're unanimous in the results of this one. I've also gone for 2-1 for Chelsea. So we have all the results are in. We're unanimous for Liverpool. A bit of a disagreement for Southampton. 2 draws to the AI's win. Um, wait, Kelechi said Everton to lose, Abi.
Yes,
Yeah.
now.
Okay, so
Now,
because I'm looking at it now, and I don't know why I had like a flashback now. Like, are you kidding me? So we are not together. Which one are we together on? 100%.
Yeah, the last
Okay. Yeah, the last two. The last two. And it's interesting that Kelechi has gone for a 4-2 scoreline for Manchester United. Um,
See,
Leeds United.
I've watched Leeds. Leeds are a side where I think it's going to work. They would push Manchester United to maybe a 2-2 scoreline self. It might be 2-2 at a certain time in that game, but I think United would have enough in their tank to push it further and make it 4-2. I think so.
All right, guys. As I've been saying, you can subscribe to this channel so that anytime we're coming live, you get prompted. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for joining us. Sheyi, any parting shots?
Well, as usual, the contestant today has come gung ho, you know. So let's hope that the AI will kind of like, just tell him to sit down, sir.
Calm down.
So, calm down. Calm down. But it's been a good. It's been a good one. It's been a good one. Hopefully, the AI will continue the unbeaten run, and let's see what happens next week.
All right, Kelechi, final thoughts.
It's good to see the AI forming that the machine is trying to form Terminator in this movie. I'm going to show him that I'm Arnold. And I'm going to say, Hasta Vista, baby.
Oh, shit.
All right, guys. It's the festive season, but at the same time, there is a second wave of the COVID-19 virus. So please be careful. Wear a mask, social distance. I know we want to have fun. We do deserve to have fun, after the year that we've had. But please, let's try to be safe. Play safe, wear your mask, and of course, compliments of the season. Thank you for joining us. You can always catch a rerun. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Adeyemi Adeson. Have a lovely weekend. Bye for now.